Blessings user 456. Blessings, everyone. Blessings, blessings. What a life. Hey, Nat. Blessings, blessings. I'm not finna talk. Hey, Courtney. I've been seeing you sowing in tithe, and look at you. Blessings, Mary Angel. Blessings, blessings, prayer warrior. Listen, y'all. The enemy is causing discord in this season. And you're going to have to determine which one of the snakes around you got to go this time. This is called separation is needed for growth. So God is opening up doors for many of us. Not all of us, but many of us, doors are opening. And let me explain to you what a door is. A door could be a job. It could be a promotion. It could be you getting approved for a car. It could be you moving into a house. These are open doors. So when a person say God is about to open doors for you, these are doors of opportunities. God is about to open doors for you to walk through the doors. But before you walk through that door, sacrifice is needed. Why is a sacrifice needed? Because God sacrificed Jesus. So everything about this journey and walking with God is about sacrificing. Now let's go back to the beginning when the snake whispered to Eve. Remember, God has already given us the instructions and what to do and how to follow them. And what I mean by that is each time that you are being tested, you're going to have to sacrifice somebody because God had to sacrifice Jesus. So before you walk through every door, before you get married, before your business take off, you're going to have to cut somebody off. You're going to have to disconnect from them. You're going to have to separate from them. Why? Because God made the ultimate sacrifice, and all we are doing is repeating everything that has already been written. Everything that has already been done, that's all we're doing is repeating it over and over again. After whatever generation after us, they're going to continue to repeat the cycle. Everybody has a cycle, whether it's a good cycle or a bad cycle. You're going to have to determine what cycle you are going to repeat. Now, at the beginning, Jesus had already told God had already told who was that? Adam, to not eat from one tree. All Adam had to do was tell the woman to don't do the same, correct? Instead, Adam was doing whatever he was doing, or maybe he watched her eat it. I don't know. It really don't matter to me. But all you need to pay attention to is that the snake whispered to Eve. So before you walk into your open doors, you're going to have to sacrifice the snake. If you allow the snake to whisper in your ear, you're going to get delayed. You're going to miss the blessing. You're not going to walk through the open door. And that's because it's called distractions. He's going to distract you from what you were supposed to do. And let's think about distractions when you're driving in a car. When you're driving in a car and you get distracted, you miss your turn. When you're driving in a car and you get distracted, your phone ring, you end up passing the street, you end up having a car accident. So this is what distractions do to you. Street, you end up having a car accident. So this is what distractions do to you. So before you walk through this open door, do not get distracted by the enemy. The enemy is whispering in your ear. The enemy is telling you, you cannot do this. We don't have to do this. Let's leave this ministry. Let's not go move here. Let's not do this. The enemy is going to try to distract you and cause you. I know that's why I'm doing this. I'm sounding the alarm so that you don't miss it. The enemy is going to cause you to be, he coming to steal, kill, and destroy. If he can prevent you from walking into this big door, this door is so big that God is about to push you through. If he can stop you from walking through this door, you're going to miss the mark. You're going to have to wait till God comes back to you. You're going to have to see the enemy. You're going to have to know the person sitting next to you, the person in your house, and God is saying, separate from them, disconnect from them, cut the wheat from the tare. This is called separation is needed for growth. Because the person cannot see the vision, because the person did not have discernment, because the person does not have wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, you're going to have to disconnect from them because they're not on the level that you're on. And if you take them to this next level with you, you're going to miss the blessing. You're going to miss the healing. You're going to miss the deliverance. You're going to miss the open door of prosperity. You're going to miss the divine connections. You're going to miss the breakthrough. If you listen to the snake, God has sent many of you to leaders. You all hear God on the level that you on. Dr. D is so high right now, baby. Let me tell you, I'm sitting up there in the kingdom right now. I'm up there with God. Literally. Some of y'all are not on the level I'm on. You're going to have to stop looking at how I look and how I present it. I am meant to present it to certain people to connect to everybody. You got to stop thinking I got to submit it one way, that I got to connect with one set of people. It's 57 of us on here. I have to say it in a way that people can understand it so that they can get the message and don't miss it. Grab what's for you. Get what you're supposed to get and go. We are missing it because we want people to look a certain way. We want people to teach it a certain way. If I teach it in a logical way, what about the person that don't think logical? They're going to miss it. If I speak so intellectual, what about the person that don't have a degree, that don't have a high school diploma? They're going to miss it. God is trying to get it to everybody. You're going to have to be open that God is doing everything to grasp everybody. This is why I got to take a hat off and put a hat on, because I have to accommodate each person in the place that they are in. But if we get too holier than thou, thinking that, oh, she got her hair this way, well, I got to connect with the person who down, who depressed, who don't feel like doing their hair, who don't feel like putting no clothes on. If you always looking and expecting me to make it look good all the time, you're going to miss it. You forgetting about the person that ain't making it look good. You're going to forget about the person that want to commit suicide. You forgetting about the people that's going through stuff. If I come on here every day with Gucci on and Fendi on, if I come on here driving the best everything all the time, looking a certain way all the time, I'm going to miss the person that's going to say she thinks she better than me. She can't relate to me. She can't connect to me. We are sent to do things a certain way so that we can connect the people. It's called being in a relationship. God is not looking for people to dress it up and look right all the time. I'm sending you to the people that are lost, that are broken. And people who are broken and lost, baby, all of them ain't got on Gucci. All of them can't get their hair done. They broke. I'm called to people with money and people who ain't got no money. So I got to connect with the person in lack to get them to get their wealth. And I got to make the person who got money humble themselves so that they can stay in alignment with God. So I'm dealing with multiple different type of sets of people. I'm talking to the 12 tribes, and they all don't look alike, and they don't think alike. I got to conversate with logical people who got ADHD. Their attention span so little, they barely can connect to anybody because they hear and they gone the next minute. I got people who prideful. I got people who humble. I got people who got a mute spirit, people who ain't got no problem telling you what to do because they got a control spirit. I got to deal with people who got manipulation spirit. I got to deal with people who don't know how to communicate, and I got to say it in a way to make them comfortable to want to talk to me. So when I tell you I wear many hats, do not come in my room expecting me to just accommodate one person. I'm not in my flesh. I'm just learning to connect with the person on the level that they are on so that they don't miss the blessing that God has in front of them. And this is what the leaders are not doing. They're pushing out the people that don't make them look good and sound good. It's just like the school system. Because one of my children was dyslexia, and she in all honors now, thanks to God. But because my daughter had read backwards, she was dyslexia, ICD, ADHD, whatever they wanted to call her. No teacher knew how to teach her. They kept labeling her. And it wasn't that nothing was wrong with her. They did not want to take a refresher course to learn how to accommodate her. I'm just the one who was willing to learn how to accommodate each person. I didn't try to change the person. I met the person in the place that they were in so that they can learn what God wanted to teach them, so that they can get the blessing that He has promised them. So excuse me if I ain't got in a place that you expect me to be in. Excuse me if I don't look a certain way because you expecting me to do it a certain way. What about the person that's been left behind? Somebody got to connect to this person. Somebody got to get this person what God has promised them. I can't look down on them because they hair a different color. So if God tell me to turn my hair blonde, I'm going to turn my hair blonde. so that I can connect to the person that feel like that people judge them because of how they look. If I got to have tattoos on my body to connect to the person that wear tattoos and rings all over them, I got to connect to that person because this person has purpose and God has need for them, because all he cares about is saving souls. Y'all gonna get enough for judging people based upon how they look and how they speak. God is searching for the people who is left behind. Somebody got to grasp these people. In this season, the enemy is causing a distraction. He is going to use death. He is going to use your lack of finances. He is going to use your eviction, your repossession. He is causing whatever to happen. Remember, these are things that has to happen, that he has used before. You just have to respond a different way than you did before. The snake is whispering. The snake is in your family. The snake is in your ministry. The snake is in your business. The snake works for you. The snake is next to you. You're going to have to decipher by using your discernment which one is the snake. And when you see the snake, you're going to have to know that you cannot save them. You're not God, that you're going to have to cut them off. Because if you take a person too far, too soon, they're going to sabotage you at the top. That means if you take somebody ghetto who don't want to be renewed to the top too early, they're going to run people off. They're going to act ghetto. They're going to do stuff in a way that's going to make you look bad. And God is saying they cannot go with you. You need to cut them off. And this person may be your friend. This person may be your member. This person may be your spouse. This person may be your children. And God is saying, I need you to sacrifice them. Why? Because I had to sacrifice my son. So if I have had to sacrifice somebody, you're going to have to keep having to sacrifice somebody. The Bible is not God. The Bible is instructions on the way you should be living. And if he sacrificed, you got to sacrifice. All you doing is doing what he did. You're just duplicating what he did in this life. It's so simple. So the fact that the snake whispered to Eve gonna let you know the enemy talking to you, telling you you ain't ready. We ain't got to do that. God ain't said that. God ain't in it. That's not God. And you're going to have to use discernment to know if that's God talking to you, or if that's the snake whispering to Eve again. See, you Eve right now. And if you're a man, just say you Edward. The snake whispering to you saying it's not time to start the business. It's not time to move yet. It's not time to get a car yet. The snake lying to you. He come to deceive you because you have gotten this close to your door. And God said, I need you to sacrifice the snake today. I need you to loose yourself from the snake today. I know you love them, but they cannot go further, because if I allow you to go further, you're going to sabotage what I'm doing. And if you sabotage what I'm doing, that's going to make my word become void and fall to the ground. And my word does not fall void to the ground. It goes forth. This is why certain people can't go with you, because it will make God look bad. And this is why people get to a place too soon. Y'all see people who got money too early and you be like, God did not get them that. God would not have done that. That is not God. See, there's a decency about God, and my school is about to drop on June the 1st, so I hope you all getting ready to sign up on around the end of the month. We'll be signing up. Orientation is March the 1st. That triune God that they talk about, let me break it down a little clearer for you. The first section is self. This is you taking care of your hurt and your pain, your anger, having self-control, and not being a people pleaser. Tell Martin stop calling me. Not being a people pleaser. This is you faith over fear. And until you handle and learning how to love and regulating your mind is when you need to tap into the spirituality. Because we have been so spiritual with God, because we have been holier than thou, but we still broken, we still missing stuff, we still lacking, we still double-minded, we still can't hear God. We have been doing the spiritual part but not the self part. But remember, God does everything decent and in order. So first is self. And then once it's self, you go to spirituality. A lot of us got a whole lot of spirituality while we broken. And that's because you've been doing stuff out of order. See, God gave me something. He broke down that triune God. He talking about self, and then it goes to the spirituality. Then it goes to business. Look at how many people got a business, but they don't have love. They prideful. They double-minded and unstable. They don't have discernment. God would not have given you wealth, and you have not healed first. And after you have healed self, you have no problem being alone. You have no problem cutting people off for your peace. Until you master that is when you should have went spiritually. Is when you should have started gaining a relationship spiritually or with the Holy Spirit. And this is the decency and order with God. See, these the keys they don't want you to have because they don't want you to get in the kingdom. But God said it's time for my kingdom to come forth. Only the real will come and explain to you and expose the keys to the kingdom so that we can have heaven on earth. And I hope some of y'all catch it. So self first, then your spirituality, then business. Now I want you to use discernment because I want you to look at all the wealthy people in the world, and I want you to ask yourself, when you see these people and you meet these people, do you think God would have given them what they have? Or do you think they skip the process? When a person has so much money but they broken like Cardi B, God would not have given her wealth yet. She too broken. You got to learn how to be by yourself. You got to learn how to have self-love. You got to learn how to be okay being alone. And once you master that, then you get promoted to start learning spirituality. Some of us so spiritual. We're using all these crystals and cards and all this stuff out of order. Because we're trying to grab hold to something to fill a void because we have not addressed the self-issues that we have inside. And let's not talk about the ones who chasing wealth, who chasing money. The love of money is the root of all evil. That I'd rather have money to cover up what I'm going through. I'd rather have money to dress up and make it look like I'm doing good, but really I'm broken inside. God would not have given it to you yet. This is why you need discernment. You need to be able to discern if God would have opened that door for you, because they say don't go. All doors are not from God. You got to know what doors to walk into. Are you healed? This is where you take accountability. Are you still having a void right now? Are you missing something, lacking something? Is something still broken? Because God said you're supposed to be lacking nothing, missing nothing, and nothing broken. And if you can point out a void in your life, it ain't. This is why some of y'all came to my ministry and you had to quit your jobs, because God wouldn't have gave you a job without you being your best self. Because you could go to your job and give the rest of what you got away to your job, and now you just broken. And I do stuff decent and in order, so why would I give you a job when I know you're not mentally healed? When I know anybody could come in and push a button and you could break down, or you could fall apart, or you could jump off the bridge the next day. Why would I do that? I do stuff decent and in order. So this is why a lot of y'all had to come over here and be retrained on how to love self first, how to learn how to fear God, how to obey God first, how to regulate your mind, how to get out of all that negativity. And then he pulled some of y'all away from y'all families when y'all came over here. Because these were the people that caused your hurt and pain, and you cannot grow in dead soil. This was the process. Are you coming from away from them, amongst them, so that you can heal properly? And some of you can't even leave your families to heal properly, but you rather run and chase a job so that you can get the money to make yourself look like you healed. You deceiving yourself. You lying to yourself. You still killing and destroying yourself. But you claim to be the curse breaker when all you doing is running in a curse cycle. Just circle cycle. It's a curse. Sabotaging yourself. God is using self-sabotage. The enemy using self-sabotage in this season. You're going to have to see that he's trying to cause your feelings to get in your way. Your feelings and emotions, your negativity, your mindset of you always looking at the negative and never seeing the positive. You're going to self-sabotage yourself. Everybody ain't out to hurt you. It's that spirit inside of you that you don't want to let go. He said submit to him, not to your flesh. But he did say if you resist that rejection spirit, a lot of y'all battling rejection and abandonment. If you stop looking at it as you being rejected and look at it that Maybe they busy. Maybe they got something else they doing. Maybe they didn't see me calling and not that, oh, they didn't beck at your beck and move, because some of y'all mixing rejection with your control spirit. And you feeling like you rejected, but really it's just you wanting somebody to do what you want them to do when you want to and how you want to. That's Jezebel. Control, manipulation. The only way God can heal you is when you face the thing that you think that you have a problem with. Some of y'all feel rejected when a person don't answer the phone when you want them to. You get mad and snap, crackle, and pop. What you doing? Where you been at? Why you ain't doing this? Such and such. You get negative. And God is just looking to see how you going to respond. Are you going to think it is negative, or you going to be like, well, maybe they busy. Maybe they didn't see it. They'll call me later. This how you heal and deliver yourself, by stop thinking how you was thinking at first. Everything ain't always negative. And when you know you walking with God, when you know you giving God a yes, baby, he said every good thing comes from me. So this time it's your do-over. I know it used to be negative when you weren't walking with God, when you weren't giving him a yes, but now you giving him a yes, baby. It ain't negative no more. It's positive. You about to take territory on what once defeated you. The enemy used to cause you to be negative, but now you about to take territory because you see the plan, plot, and the scheme of the enemy. You ain't rejecting me. You ain't trying to leave me. You just busy. You didn't see my call. You gonna call me later. That's how easy it is to submit to God and resist the devil. That's how easy it is for you to heal and deliver yourself and not feel like somebody rejecting you, then not feel like somebody abandoning you. See, these the issues that God trying to deal with to heal self before he take you into the spiritual realm. Because isn't it funny that we can prophesy, speak in tongues, that we can pray, that we can preach the gospel, but our heart is broken, but we lack forgiveness, that we don't let go of things, and we always hold on to the people that hurt us the most. Isn't it funny? I'm helping y'all to heal and deliver yourself. I'm giving you the answers that you need, that you've been seeking. You've been saying, order my steps, guide my footsteps. Baby, you got to go through the process. You can't skip the process. You can't try to go get money before you get healed. You can't try to work a job. Do you know how many people going to work at FedEx every day don't even get their retirement and drop dead? Because they can't go take care of their health. Because they can't go to the doctor and see about themselves, that they so concerned about bills that were sent to steal, kill, and destroy you. And then when I come and tell you, you need to sow every day and watch God give you favor. See, God wouldn't have never told you to work that job because you ain't got nothing but 25% and you left. The other half been broken, damaged, disappointed. You've been ready to throw in the towel and give it up. And you're going to go to the job and all it takes is one person to say something wrong. You're going to fall apart. God came to give you good health and life. He came to give you prosperity. Y'all want to skip the steps and make money, but you don't want to worry about your well-being so that you can get up to go to the job. How you going to go to the job and you double-minded and unstable? You don't know if you coming and going. You lack discernment. You don't even know if a person getting over on you or not. But you around here praying and prophesying and speaking in tongues. That ain't even in order. How you praying, prophesying, and all of that, but you lack forgiveness? You don't even know what real love is. When somebody coming to love you and help you, you got your guard up. Make it make sense. Because if we're going to talk about decency and in order, let's just talk about it. Why would he send you there and you 25%? You ain't your best self. That your supervisor can come in right now and say the wrong thing and you will lose your job. That's that snap, crackle, and pop we be talking about. Our patience be on thin ice. See, God trying to deal with that thin ice you get. You almost empty if you just submit to God and empty the rest of your little thin ice out, baby. He'll fill you up quickly. It's easy to be healed. It's hard for you to let go of the stuff stopping you from getting healed. If you just submit. You said you tired of being disappointed. You tired of being unloved. You tired of people lying to you. But why don't you just come on over here with God and let him heal you? And when he finish healing you, then he'll start talking to you about a business ideal, or then he'll start sending you out to a job to minister to people. Some of y'all going to these jobs and can't even minister to people because you need somebody to minister to you. That's how you know you're supposed to be in the house working on self. The fact that God can't send you to the job to help somebody else. Remember, we go out to serve people. We go out to free the people, to loose shackles and chains, to heal and deliver them. You going out to a job that you can't even minister to nobody, testify to, because you broken, you hurt, and you want to skip the process to make money to pay a bill that God didn't even create the bill. When God over here saying he worried about yourself. He worried about you. Blessings, prophetic voice. He worried about healing you internally because you broken and you want to make money. And God said, I do stuff decent and in order. When I send you out to a job, baby, you're going to be in there ministering to people. They going to know it's God. Just think about every time God sent you and gave you a job. You was in there testifying to God. I hadn't worked for 5 months and my bills got paid. I just got a new car. God is good. Some of y'all going into these jobs and can't even open your mouth, can't even share the goodness of God, can't even help nobody else because you're too broken. And I want you to use discernment when I'm talking, because I'm telling you, you're not supposed to be working. You're supposed to be sitting in the house, allowing God to love on you, to heal you, to minister to you, to deliver you. You out of order. And if you just get in alignment, your whole life will change. If you allow God to work on you in the house, and then he'll send you out to the people. And that's when he'll give you a job. And then when you get that job, he gonna use you. He gonna say, go over there and say that because you comfortable hearing his voice. You've been sitting in the house for a few months or years. And that was just you being trained by the Holy Spirit. Now he can trust you to send you out. So now I'll give you a job. I know you're going to open your mouth. You're going to tell him what thus saith the Lord. You're going to share the goodness of God. You're going to give me glory wherever you go. Now I can trust you to start a business. Now I can trust you to go to work. You want a job without going through the process. I just want you to know, for those of you who skipping the process, you're going to have to go back to you're going to lose that job. Because you can't skip the process. Some of us who are chosen, most of us, all of us who are chosen vessels for God. He knew you in your mother's womb. You can't skip the process. You gotta go through it this way. You're going to have to heal first. And God then going to send you out because he going to make sure you're ready. And then when he sends you out, people going to confirm that what you saying to them is God. And they're going to gravitate to you because it's a gathering anointing. It's an anointing that makes people want to come, want to be around you. This is why the lady said, where is Jesus? I need to touch the hem of his garment. I need to be in his presence. I need to be healed. I need to be healed. And when you do this, and after so long are you climbing up them 12 steps to heaven, God gonna say, now I can trust you to do business. Some of these people doing business because who they connected to, because who they know. That's why you got all these people up here who wealthy and they still smoke and drink like the people who broke. And that's because they actually supposed to be broke because they ain't healed. They turn into drugs. They turn into alcohol. They doing all these heinous things that's not of God. That's because they connected with people that they shouldn't have connected to, but they wanted to skip the process because they want wealth. The love of money is the rule of all evil. You got to discern who God sent. When these people can get on these lives and start breaking down and telling you what they going through, y'all got to pay attention. Do they have discernment? Are they healed? God don't give unhealed people a lot of money. God don't give people who need deliverance a lot of money. They'll be a fool with money. He do stuff decent and in order. I just broke this thing down so good. This ought to let you see the leaders. Them leaders that got all that pride and they connected with T.D. Jakes and they connected with all these other people who was already there. They connected to people to get to where they wanted to go. They skipped the process. That's why some of them falling. That's why they being exposed. Let me tell you how God exposed you. Just think of a cover over you. Just think of a cover over you. Let me break this down to you. Hold on. When God cover you, because y'all be reading Psalms 91, you cover. When you stop growing, this what happened to the cover. When you stop growing, God telling you to come up. He's saying, give me another yes. The cover start coming off you. He started exposing. Y'all see my side? That's pride. You see my legs? That's unloving. You see my arms a little bit? That's jealousy. You see my face? The cover off. This when people get exposed. God pulled the cover off. He pulled the cover off because you stopped growing. And God kept saying, let's go. We got to elevate. And as he going up, if you don't keep going up with him, it's going to start exposing your mess. It's going to start exposing who you are. It's going to start exposing what you don't like and what you don't want nobody to know. It's going to start exposing the stuff you've been hiding, the stuff you hide behind your makeup and your wigs and your lipstick, the stuff you hiding behind your Gucci bags and your Fendi bags. When you stop growing, the cover, Psalms 91, comes off of you. It only comes off of you because the cover is going up and God is saying, come up. And if you don't come up and you get comfortable standing in a place, this is why people get exposed and you start seeing them naked. You start seeing their ugliness. You start seeing that they prideful, the jealousy, the envy, the double-mindedness. You start seeing the stuff that they've been hiding but had not been trying to get delivered from. You start seeing the stuff they didn't want to address. God start exposing them because y'all like to say, God got it. Y'all always exposing people. No, when you stop growing, the cover comes off. Did that make sense? The cover comes off when you stop giving a no. And this what happens. Some of y'all get complacent. Some of y'all got so comfortable. Some of y'all just got a car. Y'all was like, I'm okay with the car. Some of y'all got a house. And you was like, I'm good with the house. And I got a job. Oh, I ain't got to go sew and tie no more. I don't need Dr. D room no more. I ain't got to go to church no more. I got a job. And God was like, I gave you that job so you can keep wanting me to do more for you. And after so long, I just started going higher and you didn't come with me. You stopped going with me. You stopped allowing me to guide you, to lead you, to order your steps. I can't order your steps if you're getting stuck with just the car. If you get stuck with just the house. And after so long, that cover going up and you just sitting there stuck and comfortable. And now you mad because you feel like people talking about you. And it's not that nobody talking about you. You just got comfortable in that place, getting a little money, getting a car, getting a house, just getting a job, a promotion. And God started showing that stuff on you that you hadn't submitted to him for. See, he said, submit to God, resist the devil, and he'll flee. When you get comfortable, you stop submitting to God. And then all your wounds start being shown. They start seeing all that ugliness on you because God can't cover you no more because you're in disobedience now and people get to see it. And when we see it, we're going to say it. They said when you see something, you're supposed to say something. And when you see them ugly wounds, you're supposed to sound the alarm and tell people. It ain't their fault they see you. You came from up under the covers. You came from up under his covering, his protection. And then when you away from up under that protection, now here come car accident, your money getting taken away, your money going through your fingers. You can't keep nothing. The door's closing. You can't get a promotion. Now you lost a job. Now you're about to lose your house. Your light bill about to get cut off. That's why Dr. D always say when you come and say, my lights got cut off, I'm about to get evicted. I said, repent and tell God you trust him. Because you got comfortable thinking you didn't need him no more. And you stopped growing and maturing. And that stuff started getting exposed. Or how you lack forgiveness. Or how you don't want to let go of certain people, places, and things that don't mean you no good. Or how you a little double-minded and you lack discernment. That's why I tell you, I let people stay in my ministry, but when they stop growing, they got to go. I will block you in my ministry because now you're in disobedience. You ain't got comfortable, and you can stay comfortable if that's where you want to be, but you got to go. You can't stay over here operating in witchcraft because God said he don't bless witches. He bless witches who want to be renewed to a kingdom citizen. You can't stay a witch over here. You're going to have to keep growing so God can renew your mind and teach you right from right and wrong from wrong. And as long as you're willing to learn, even God will try to save a witch and a warlock. All you got to do is stay under their protection. All you got to do is keep submitting to God and resisting the devil so he can flee. All you got to do is keep denying your flesh. Denying that you just want to be stuck with a car. Denying that you just want a house. Denying that you just want a spouse or a job. You got to just be denying stuff that you would usually accept. Denying your family, who don't mean you no good, who holding you back, who whispering in your ear negative things that God ain't said. Deny flesh. Y'all quoting all these scriptures, but don't even understand this is the way to bring heaven on earth. This is the way for his kingdom to come, by applying the scriptures to your everyday life. So again, I sounded the alarm. The enemy is causing distractions in your life, funerals, evictions, repossessions, whatever that can distract you. So some people, you got a group of people being distracted right now. You got so much stuff to do. You're going to have to focus on what God has told you to do only. Because if you are not doing what he told you to do, you're going to miss your door of opportunity. If you do not set up what he's telling you to set up, you're going to miss your door of opportunity. For some of y'all, you got to cut the snake off. The snake is coming to tell you that ain't God. God ain't said do this. God ain't told me to say that. God ain't told me to do that. Because we on different levels, God is going to tell you something that you cannot hear, because somebody always on a higher level than you. So when I come and say, you know, you got to move. It's time to go. You got to be okay that you didn't hear it. You got to be okay that somebody on a higher level than you, and it's through your faith that's going to make God move. So even if it wasn't time for you to go, just because you stepped out on faith, guess what God going to do? He going to open the door because you did it on faith. He moving off faith, not off you obeying the person. The fact that you don't understand that this whole journey is about faith, that you ain't going to see it, you ain't going to know it, you ain't going to understand it, you just going to have to do it. He said be a doer, not just a hearer. So the fact, if I tell you to move, Portia, if I say you need to move and go, I seek God for 3 days, and when he tell you where to go, get there. If I tell you it's time to move and you move and you really feeling like, I don't know if I need to move, I just got a job, God been moving here, God will cause a job. I mean, the enemy will cause a job to be a distraction. Don't you know the enemy will give you a job just because he know God is telling you? He know that you don't trust God. He know that you don't think the business is going to take off without you having the money that you can see to buy the stuff. So he will offer you a job just to get you out of alignment, just to get you to not do what God telling you to do. That's a distraction, because he know you don't trust God. So some of y'all being distracted. Some of y'all got the snake whispering in your ear, because you feel like because God hadn't told you. God can't tell you everything because you can't receive everything because you don't have faith. So God gonna send you somebody to prophesy to you, to release a word over you and say it's time to move, it's time to go. All you got to do is pack up your bags by faith and go. All you got to do is ask God where you want me to go, and when he tell you where to go, just get there by faith. Do not sit there and be doubtful and say, I don't think I'm supposed to leave, and then tell 50 other people, and then the other people come convince you that you're not supposed to leave. You're not supposed to believe the other people. You're supposed to always step out on faith. So the fact that you did not perform a faith step, that lets you know you finna be stuck. God said he said, don't nothing please him but faith. And the fact that you didn't pack up your bags and leave, that you chose to listen to the snake lie to you, to keep you stuck. This is why God is uncovering you and allowing us to see you. And this is why you feel like people are talking about you. But that's conviction. Because you're being exposed, because you left from up under the covers of the Almighty. I just gave you so many nuggets. That's why he said it's impossible to believe. So even if you don't know where you're supposed to go, or if you're supposed to leave or not, if this is your question to yourself, just have faith. And whichever move gonna allow you to use faith, do it. That's the easiest way I can give it to you. Whichever option gonna allow you to step out on faith, do it. And he said, because of your faith, I'm gonna move. You just pleased me because you willing to do something that you wouldn't literally do. You doing stuff nobody wouldn't want to do by faith. So I'm gonna move just off your faith. I'm going to open the door because you were scared and you chose to have faith. I'm going to open the door because the naysayers told you not to and you chose to do it. And because you stepped out on faith, the door going to be open. I just wanted to sound the alarm for you. You're going to have to grasp what you needed today. May you pass your test. May you have faith. May you use what's in your hand to get to your next destination. May you separate the wheat from the tare. May you disconnect from the people who come in to steal, kill, and destroy you because they refuse to let go of the enemy inside of them. I don't know what day it is, but I hope y'all put y'all seed on the ground. Make sure y'all sow. I forgot what day of the wave it is, but you just know you're supposed to sow anyway. He gives seed to the sower. For you all who giving gifts, thank you for obeying God concerning me. For those of you who have sold, thank you for obeying God concerning me. Y'all know this fertile ground. They ain't giving you this type of teaching nowhere. You've been at churches for years and I ain't never broke this thing down so easy for you to understand it. If I didn't just give you a cheat sheet, if I didn't just help you with what you've been seeking God for. I love you all. Thank you, Shabrika. Have an amazing day. God is good, and I see you all soon.